Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to jump right into the B4X suite and see how you can go from drawing a simple line all the way to creating these rich interactive charts. And get this, all with a single code base. So let's get started.
So, if you're a developer, you've probably felt this pain before, right? You build this amazing UI on one platform, and then you have to turn around and do it all over again for the next one. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could write your graphics code once and just have it run beautifully everywhere? Well, that's exactly the promise we're going to dig into today.
All right, so here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about that cross-platform dream. Then we'll lay the foundation, your digital canvas, and the basic drawing tools. After that, we're going to unlock some serious power with a tool called BitmapCreator before we put it all together to create some absolutely incredible data visualizations with xGraph.
Okay, let's jump right into that big challenge. You know, the goal is so simple to say, but it's often really hard to actually achieve. Write your code one time and see it pop up on every major platform.
Luckily, the B4X suite gives us the tools for the job. First up, we've got B4A, a totally free and complete tool for all your Android development. Then there's B4I. It follows all the same concepts, but it targets native iOS apps, which means you can reuse a huge amount of your code between the two.
And to complete the picture, we have B4J. It's another 100% free tool that lets you create desktop apps for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And not just that, you can also build server solutions and even run it on ARM boards like a Raspberry Pi.
So, the big question is, how do we tie all these powerful platforms together? Well, the answer is XUI. That's the B4X User Interface Library. And this is where a really key piece of advice comes in. Use XUI graphics whenever you possibly can, even if you're only building for one platform. And why is that? It's simple, really. It just makes your code cleaner and totally future-proofs it from day one.
So we know where we're going to be drawing. Now let's talk about what we're drawing on. Think about it. Every artist needs a canvas, right? Whether you're using oil paints or pixels, you need a surface to create on. In B4X, that's your digital canvas.
And at the absolute heart of everything is the canvas object. This is your fundamental tool. You literally can't draw a single thing without it. This object is what holds all the methods for creating lines, circles, text, and, putting images right on the screen.
Okay, but here's a little gotcha you need to know. On mobile, with B4A and B4I, your canvas actually needs to live inside a container view, something like a panel. But for desktop with B4J, the canvas itself is a node, so you can add it directly. It's a subtle difference, but it's super important to remember when you're setting up your project layouts.
All right, so we've got our strategy, we've got our canvas. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's actually pick up the tools and start drawing something.
Man, this table just says it all, doesn't it? You've got your core methods here, draw a circle, draw a rect, draw text, and just look at that XUI column, check marks all the way down. This is that whole write once, run anywhere dream, right here in a single table. And what does that actually look like? Well, check this out. This entire graphic, the rectangles, that filled in circle, the line, all the text, even the rotated text, was made using only those basic commands we just saw. It's pretty amazing what you can pull off with just these simple building blocks, isn't it?
Okay, basic shapes are awesome. They get you far. But what about when you need to kick things up a notch? You know, when you need real speed, pixel-perfect control, or those slick professional effects. That's when you bring in the heavy hitter, BitmapCreator.
So, what's the secret sauce here? How does it get that speed? Well, a normal canvas draws onto a view, but BitmapCreator is different. It loads the raw bitmap data directly into memory. And that low-level access is the key. It lets you do some seriously complex stuff at like lightning speed.
And once you've got that kind of power under the hood, you can start playing with the really fun toys in the BitmapCreatorEffects library. We're talking about blurring an image, making it grayscale, pixelating it for effect. You can even create these super smooth animated transitions between two different images.
Now, why is this so important? Well, look at a complex graphic like this chart. To make something this detailed update smoothly, especially if you're feeding it live data, you absolutely need that raw performance that BitmapCreator gives you. It's the engine that really makes those professional visuals and animations possible.
Okay, so we've looked at the basic drawing tools, and we've leveled up with advanced effects. For our last section, let's put it all together and build something truly impressive, turning raw numbers into insightful stories.
All right, think about the journey we've just been on. We started with just an idea, then a blank canvas, then we drew some simple shapes, and then we unlocked high-speed bitmap effects. So where does that all lead? It leads to this. This is xGraph. It's a custom view built entirely with the B4X and XUI tools we've been talking about. Every single line, every number, every curve you see here is drawn using that same graphics engine. It's the ultimate proof of how you can build something really complex from those fundamental parts.
And remember, something like xGraph isn't just a pretty picture. It's fully interactive. You can draw multiple curves, get live value readouts just by moving your cursor, zoom right into specific areas, and even do calculations directly on the data. And the best part? All of this power comes in a single, completely cross-platform XUI view.
I mean, just think about that journey for a second. We started with a completely blank canvas and just a few drawing commands, and by layering on more advanced tools and some smart design, we ended up here, at a rich, interactive, professional data visualization tool. And that, right there, is the incredible power of the B4X graphics stack.
So from simple custom buttons all the way up to complex data dashboards, the foundation is exactly the same. The only question left is, now that you've seen what's possible, what are you going to build?